Today, we're going to be talking about the types of sources. But before we get started, we should probably talk about what a source is. A source is a person, publication, or object that gives us information. Basically, anything that gives you information is a source. That means there's a whole lot of sources in the world. To make it a little bit easier for us to understand sources when there are so many in the world, we talk about them as two types of sources: primary sources and secondary sources. Let's start with primary sources. When we talk about the word primary, we're talking about something being the earliest in time or order. When something is the primary thing, that means it's usually the first thing. So when we are talking about sources, primary sources are first-hand or original information that has not been changed in any way since whoever produced the information stated it. Primary sources are things like government documents, like the Declaration of Independence or U.S. Constitution, autobiographies, which is when a person writes about their own life, transcripts, or a copy of what was said word for word, photographs or videos of an event, an interview with a person, and journals or letters. An easy way to figure out if something is a primary source is to ask yourself, is this information coming directly from the person that said it or witnessed it? If the answer is yes, it's a primary source. Now, on to secondary sources. You should notice that the word second is in the word secondary. When something is second in order, it's not first. So with secondary sources, this is when someone uses a primary source to create another or second source of information. Secondary sources are things like biographies, which is when another person writes about someone else's life and they usually need to speak with the person or look at other documents to write it. Reference books, like dictionaries and encyclopedias. These take information from another source and compile it all together into one place. Textbooks, book reviews, when someone is reviewing a book written by another person. Research reports and papers. Someone is using information from another source to create their own informational source. And news articles and video packages. A video package is not just the original video, but also includes additional information and commentary and editing. Knowing the types of sources is going to be super important in journalism because journalists try to focus on using primary sources like interviews and photographs and videos to create secondary sources like news articles that explain the events that have happened. We'll talk more about journalists' favorite primary source, interviewing, on another video. But that's all I have for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching!